Okay. Okay. I'd like to call to order the 63rd meeting of the 40th Council, held March 10th, 2025. And the first order of business is a moment of reflection. Okay, thank you. Moving forward, additions and approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Lyons. Resolved that the agenda for the 63rd meeting of the 40th Council be approved as presented. In favor? Carried. Next order of business is disclosure of pecuniary interest and the general nature thereof. It can be declared now or any time during the meeting. Moving on to number 5 is minutes from the previous meeting. The Committee of the Whole meeting from February 24th. Moved by Councillor Lyons, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Resolved that the meeting minutes from the Committee of the Whole meeting held February 24th, 2025 be received and filed. In favor? Carried. Next is the meeting minutes from February 24th. Moved by Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Lyons. Resolved that the minutes from the 62nd meeting of the 40th Council held February 24th, 2025 be adopted as written. In favor? Carried. And lastly, the in-camera meeting minutes. Moved by Councillor Lyons, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Resolved that the minutes of the in-camera meeting held February 24th, 2025 be adopted as written. In favor? Carried. Is there any matters arising out of these minutes anyone would like to discuss? Seeing none, we'll move on to Committee of the Whole reports. And the next is, first up is Administration and Employee Relations. It's a resolution supporting the energy development and investment. It's a rather lengthy resolution, so I'm not going to read it all, but I will read the further resolved section of it. So, further be it resolved that the town of Atikokan acknowledge that the municipal support plays a key role in the IESO procurement process and is committed to facilitating the province's energy objectives by providing clear and timely support for energy projects that align with the community's economic and environmental priorities. And it goes on to reference a couple other things. So I would read this. Moved by Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Lyons. Resolve that we accept the Council's resolution on the energy projects. In favor? Carried. Thank you. Sorry I stumbled through that. Yeah, I didn't. Thanks. Next, we'll move to Public Works, Airport, and Waste Management. We discussed that the last meeting, the pavement patching budget line item. Moved by Councillor Stimpson, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Resolved that Council approve the annual $200,000 Public Works pavement patching budget line. Any discussion? In favor? Carried. That'll give our Public Works time to start working on that and be ready so we're not paving in the snow next year. Next is the annual drinking water report 2024. It's a resolution moved by Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Stimpson. Whereas the Safe Drinking Water Act of 2002, CO 2002, Regulation 17-03 requires the annual summary reports be prepared by the owners of the municipal water systems, and whereas the council and corporation of the town of Atikokan has received the consolidated report for 2024 from Northern Waterworks, Inc., and finds it to be in accordance with the requirements of the legislation, now and therefore be it resolved that the 2024 annual drinking water report be received and filed, and further be it resolved that the report be made available to the general public at the Atikokan Municipal Office, the Atikokan Public Library, and the Town of Atikokan's website, and that is to be advertised accordingly. In favor? Carried. Thank you, everyone. And we'll move to Community Services, Transportation Services Resolution. Moved by Councillor Stimpson, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Whereas Council recognizes the success of our transportation program and its critical role in reducing transportation barriers for residents, and whereas Council recognizes the positive impact of the transportation program on community well-being, accessibility, and quality of life for residents, and now therefore be it resolved that Council directs Community Services to continue the current transportation program and incorporate all costs in future budgets, and to allocate funds from the transportation reserves if necessary. Any discussion on that? In favor? Carried. You had a good discussion in the committee of the whole, and it was a good resolution to that. Are we coming? Okay, great. We'll move to go into camera. Moved by Councillor Stimpson, seconded by Councillor Johnson. Resolved that this council committee proceed in camera in order to address a matter pertaining to litigation or potential litigation, including matters before administrative tribunals affecting the municipality or local board. We move in camera. In favor of moving into camera? Carried. We'll now move into camera, and we are not coming out of camera. So I will close the meeting. Moved by Councillor Johnson, seconded by Councillor Stimpson. Resolved that this meeting do now adjourn. In favor? Carried. Thank you, everybody.